Didn't see you there. Hello. British Masterpiece Theatre presents Othello, Act 2, Scene 3, Part 2. Good day. Act 2, Scene 3, Part 2. Touch me not so near. I had rather have this tongue cut from my mouth than it should do offense to Michael Cassio. Yet I persuade myself to speak the truth shall nothing wrong him. Thus it is, General. Montano and myself being in speech, there comes a fellow crying out for help, and Cassio followed him with determined sword to execute upon him. So this gentleman steps in to Cassio and entreats his pause. Myself the crying fellow did pursue, lest by his clamour, as it so fell out, the town might fall in fright. He, swift of foot, outran my purpose, and I returned the rather for that I had heard the clink and fall of swords, and Cassio high in oath, which till tonight I never might say before. When I came back, for this was brief, I found them close together, at blow and thrust, even as again they were when you yourself did part them. More of this matter I cannot report, but men are men. The best sometimes forget. Though Cassio did little wrong to him, as men in rage strike those that wish them best, yet surely Cassio, I believe, received from that fled some strange indignity, which patience could not pass.
I know, Iago, thy honesty and love doth mince the matter, making it light to Cassio. Cassio, I love thee, but never more be officer of mine. Look, if my gentle love be not raised up, I'll make thee an example.
What is the matter, dear?
All's well now, seeing, sweeting, come away to bed. Sir, for your hurts, myself will be your surgeon. Lead him off. Iago, look with care about what is about the town, and silence those whom the vile brawl distracted. Come, Desmoda, 'tis the soldier's life to have the balmy slumbers wait and strife.
What, are you hurt, Lieutenant?
I passed all surgery.
Mary, heaven forbid.
Reputation, reputation, reputation. Oh, I have lost my reputation. I have lost the immortal part of myself, and what remains it, bestial. My reputation, Iago, my reputation.
As I am an honest man, I had thought you had received some bodily wound. There is more sense in that than in reputation. Reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft got without merit, and lost without deserving. You have lost no reputation at all, unless you repute yourself such a loser. What, man, there are ways to recover. The general again. You are but now cast in his mood, a punishment more in policy than in malice. Even so as one would beat his offenceless dog to affright an imperious lion. Suit him again, he's yours.
I would rather be sued to be despised than to deceive so good a commander with so slight, so drunken and so indiscreet an officer. Drunk! And speak patted, and squabble, swagger, swear, and discourse fustian with one's own shadow. O thou inversible spirit of wine, if thou hast no name to be known by, let's call thee devil!
What was that? What was he that you followed with your sword? What had he done to you?
I know not.
Is it possible that you know not?
I remember a mass of things, but nothing distinctly. A quarrel, but nothing wherefore. O God, that men should put an enemy in their mouths to steal away their brains, that we should with joy, pleasance, revel, and applause transform ourselves into beasts.
Why, but you are now well enough. How came you thus recover?
It hath pleased the devil drunkenness to give a place to the devil wrath. One unperfectness shows me another, to make me frankly despise myself.
Come, you are too severe a moraler. as the time, the place, and the condition of this country stands. I could heartily wish this had not befallen. But since it is as it is, mend it for your own good.
I will ask him for my place again. He shall tell me I am a drunkard. Had I as many mouths as Hydra, such an answer would stop them all. To be such a sensible man, and by a fool, and presently a beast. Oh, strange! Every inordinate cup is unblessed, and the ingredient is a devil.
Come, come, good wine is a good familiar creature, if it be well used. Exclaim no more against it, and good lieutenant, I think I love you.
I have well approved it, sir. I drunk?
You or any man living may be drunk at some time, man. I'll tell you what you shall do. Our general's wife is now the general. I may say so in this respect, for that he hath devoted and given up himself to the contemplation, mark, and denotement of her parts and graces. Confess yourself freely to her, importune her, help to put you in your place again. She is of so free, so kind, so apt, so blessed a disposition, she holds it a vice in her goodness not to do more than she is requested. This point broken, yes, she will fix it. And my fortunes against any lay, worth naming, this crack of your love shall grow stronger than it was before.
You advise me well.
I protest in the sincerity of love and honest kindness.
I think it freely, and betimes in the morning I will beseech the virtuous Desdemona to undertake for me. I am desperate of my fortunes if they check me.
You are in the right. Good night, Lieutenant. I must do the watch.
Good night, honest Iago.
I had one more thing. Oh, okay. And what's he then that says I played the villain? When this advice is free, I give an honest, probable to thinking, and indeed the course to win the more again. For 'tis most easy the inclining Desdemona to subdue in any honest suit. She's framed as fruitful as the free elements. And then, for her to win the more, were to renounce his baptism, all seals and symbols of redeemed sin. His soul is so enfettered to her love, that she may make, unmake, do what she list, even as her appetite shall play the god with his weak function. How am I then a villain to counsel Cassio to this parallel course, directly to his good divinity of hell, when devils will the blackest sins put on, they do suggest it first with heavenly shows, as I do now. For whiles this honest fool piles Desdemona to repair his fortunes, and she for him pleads strongly to the more, I'll pour this pestilence into his ear, that she repeals him for her body's lust, and by how now she strives to do him good, she shall undo her credit with the more. So I will turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all. How now, Rodrigo?
I do follow here in the chase, not like a band that hunts, but like one that fills up the cry. My money is almost spent. I have been tonight exceedingly well cushioned, and I think the issue will be I shall have so much experience for my pains, and so, with no money and all, and a little more wish to return again to Venice.
How poor are they that they have not patience? What wound did ever heal but by degrees? Thou know'st by wit, and not by witchcraft, and wit depends on dilatory time. Doesn't not go well? Cassio hath beaten thee, and thou by that small hurt hast cashiered Cassio. Thou other things grow fair against the sun, yet fruits that blossom will first be ripe. Content thyself a while. By the mass 'tis morning. Pleasure and action make the hours seem short. Retire thee, go where thou art belayed. Again I say, away, thou shalt no more hereafter. Nay, get thee gone. 2 things are to be done. My wife must move for Cassio to her mistress. I'll set her on. Myself the while to draw the more apart, and bring him drunk when he may find Cassio soliciting his wife. Ah, that's the way. Dull not device by coldness and delay.